A Kiss on the Forehead. Written by Just Thinking Drabbles. Read by Rashi. Hubert had a cold, and because of this, Ferdinand had demanded he remain in bed to rest. At first he had refused, insisting with him that he felt fine enough to work. When his husband brought the back of his hand to his forehead, however, he felt the warmth of a fever radiating from his flushed skin. His pleas to work were instantly rejected. Now, Hubert laid in bed and watched Ferdinand as he prepared for the day, wishing as he did that it were him brushing through his long amber strands instead. When he was caught staring, he instantly turned into the bed, making a show of his displeasure at having to stay in bed. Ferdinand sighed, and the clack of the brush being placed on the vanity echoed through the room. Seconds later, the bed dipped beneath him as he sat and moved Hubert's sweaty bangs aside. The mage didn't look at him, too afraid that if he did, he would lose the furrow in his brow the moment he looked within his lover's bright eyes. "I know you are cross with me, dear, but it is for your own good. I fear that if you work now, something may happen to you. It is better that you rest." "Please," he scoffed. "I've worked when feeling much worse than this. A fact not worthy of being boasted about," he chided, crossing his arms. Hubert groaned and tried to argue with him, but his retort was disrupted by a fit of coughing. "See, you are feeling much more unwell than you will admit." It was true, of course, but it was not in his nature to rest. He hated it. Lying in bed for some people was relaxing, but for himself, he found being idle unbearable. His job was imperative to keeping everyone safe, including the people he held most dear. If he wasn't there to watch over everything, then he couldn't be assured that it would all go over smoothly. "Darling, please, if you will not rest for yourself, then at least do it for me." When hearing this, Hubert eased the pout upon his lips and turned to him. As he had suspected, the moment he met his soft, puppy-like eyes, all the anger he held faded. "Fine. Thank you," Ferdinand replied, and bent over to give his forehead a small kiss. Hubert was thankful in that moment for the flush of the fever, as it hid the blush dusting his cheeks. "I will be back later to check on you," he told him, as he stood from the bed, and with one last wave, he exited the room. Hubert turned over in the bed once more, and closed his eyes, smiling to himself. He hated being sick and having to rest, but if it meant more kisses from his husband, then perhaps it wasn't all bad.